All right, still here with us, the lead attorney for the People's National Party at the Mandatory Inquiry, KD Knight. All right, we touched on a topic initially about Dorothy Lightburn and the relationship, and you just wanted to quantify, just to make it clear as to what the relationship really is like with yourself and Dorothy Lightburn.
It has broken down.
So you two were good friends?
I would say good friends.
You never used to go over for tea and
in the early days. Yeah. In the early days. And then when I went into politics, you know, the relationship just evaporated because of circumstances. But there was a time when herself and several other friends of ours, mutual friends, would party together, would go to her apartment. Yes. And you
mean you had like overnight party? You stay there sometimes?
No. Party together, meaning leaving work, you know, in the afternoon, and we'd have a couple of drinks.
So what really has strained that relationship then?
Trust me, I didn't...
But mine one only the one to propose or...
No, it wasn't that kind of relationship.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't that kind at all. It really came to my attention when I became a member of the Senate. When I became a member of the Senate, the arrangement was that I would be the sort of person to speak with her on matters related to the business of the Senate, because herself and the leader of opposition business did not have a smooth relationship. And then it just deteriorated. She's by nature quarrelsome, and therefore perhaps
a miserable woman.
I could have been a little bit more accommodating, you know, but she is by nature quarrelsome.
Do you see that relationship getting any better?
No, not really. Not really. No.
How does she feel about it?
And especially since that statement in the commission, I feel that I should keep my distance.
Yeah. All right. And there's another question which has generated too from our Facebook. This one from Matthew Hepburn, and as we try to incorporate as much as we can. Yeah. Many see you as being rather rude. You know, you're a brash yet assertive attorney. They even questioned the way you cross-examined the Prime Minister, saying that you actually went overboard. Did you?
No, I'm assertive. No two ways about that.
You don't see yourself as being rude?
I'm assertive when I am in the courtroom. I'm assertive when I'm in Parliament. Those two occasions. Otherwise, definitely not. In terms of cross-examining, I treated the Prime Minister as Prime Minister and showed respect to his office. But I'm not sure...
Pack your things and go.
Well, that's the end. That's the last thing. He, in responding to me, made some comments that were extraordinarily uncharitable. I was being asinine, asking him nonsense and that sort of thing. No, witnesses don't do that. And were it another witness, the commissioners would have intervened. But I must put my case. If my clients are of the view that the Prime Minister misled Jamaica, and there's a basis on which I can put the suggestion, I have to put it. If my clients are of the view that the Prime Minister deceived Jamaica, and there is a basis, and I found such a basis, then I must put it. And in putting this, some people think that that is being rude to the Prime Minister. No, he's a witness in the proceedings. If I don't put these things to him, when it comes to address on them, I can't. Because the other lawyers, his lawyer, for example, will say this was never put to him so that he could have responded. So I must put these things. So if being rude meant saying that I'm suggesting to you that you have misled Jamaica, that you have deceived Jamaica, that you have plotted and you have conspired. And certainly that is not rude.
All right. Do you believe that the inquiry served its purpose? Did we actually get the truth or anything remotely resembling the truth?
The proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'd like to await the report, because my view is that there are a lot of things that were withheld. You know, who are these persons who approached Mr. Brady? Why is that a secret? Who paid? Why is that a secret? These are things that we ought to have heard in a forthright way. But there are other aspects that came out. For example, when Mr. Patrick Atkinson, my colleague, asked about events of October 29, 2007, when the American ambassador went to see the Prime Minister, told him that there was a probability of a request coming for Mr. Coke. That very night, Mr. Coke was on the telephone with his colleague, telling him that there was a likelihood of a request coming for him for extradition. No, you know, the commissioners can't ignore that. A piece of evidence that was kept out, which I felt ought not to have been, was in relation to what Rear Admiral Lewin had said. Within 15 minutes there was a leak.
Yeah.
On the same day, it appears that there was a leak. And where would that leak be coming from? All
right. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, you see. But there are just another question I want to ask. The Prime Minister said it is quite clear that you had an agenda, and one would assume that he meant political. That's not far-fetched now, is it?
It's far-fetched. I don't know what political agenda. I represented the People's National Party, and I extended it to representing the people of Jamaica. Because, tell me, apart from Mr. Atkinson and myself, who were the lawyers there trying to pull out the truth? The others were really defending their clients.
What do you think of the commissioner?
And let me just tell you, I have absolutely no desire to get back into representational politics. Okay. I've done my time.
I'm happy you got that out. What do you think of the commissioners?
They were not as strong as I would have wanted them to have been. They were not as strong. But then they may not have been strong there, but they can and ought to be strong in their report. Because, as I said, there's evidence there for them to act on and act boldly. If they act boldly, then the inquiry would have been worth it. If they are behave like apologists, then it would have been a grand waste of time. But I expect them to act boldly.
Were you aware of the signing of the MOUs by Peter Phillips?
No, but I was a cabinet member then, and
you weren't aware of it?
Not of the details, but it all started under my watch as Minister of National Security and Justice. It started with a visit to the UK, you know, because we had a problem. We still have a problem, but we had a great problem then. And
so you're saying you were aware of it?
Not the details, the details, but I'm saying I was aware that there was such an arrangement, because the arrangement commenced under my watch, and Peter Phillips simply carried through to the signing of the MOUs, because it was something we needed. You know, we didn't have the capacity to deal with some of these criminals.
All right, I'm getting the wrap-up signal because we have we have really extended our time. We want to thank you so very much for joining us this morning for this interview, and we're going to invite you back because we have a cricket match that we are going to be playing.
Yeah.
People don't know that you played cricket. Were you a fast bowler or
I was a fast bowler. I moved the ball both ways. And Woolmer's played 8 matches, Sunlight Cup, and won all 8.
With you there?
Yes, correct. Freddie Jobson was the captain. I was the vice captain, and there was one Maurice Foster, who we groomed from then.
And he went on to represent the West Indies. So and you what?
Well, you know, I watched him with delight.
Yeah. KD Knight, I want to thank you so very much, sir, for joining us this morning and for shedding some light on the man at mess. That's what they call it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right?
Sure.
All right.